Have you ever noticed how the same person can be called completely opposite things by different people? One calls him lazy. Another calls him the most hard-working guy on the team. Why is it that one woman calls her husband unloving and his friends call him the kindest man they know? Who's lying? Who's right? What's the truth? Here's the brutal truth. Our analyses of others are often nothing more than reflections of our own unmet needs and personal values. We don't see people as they are. We see them through the lens of our expectations. We call our partner lazy, not because they are objectively lazy, but because they didn't help us with chores or didn't hold the baby when we needed them. Meanwhile, his manager calls him the most hard-working because he's putting in crazy hours on a project that he finds meaningful. Same person, two opposite labels. Why? Because he didn't meet your need, but he met theirs. A woman says, "My husband doesn't love me because he doesn't spend time with her the way she wants." But his friends think he's the most loving person because he's always there when they need help. Who's right? No one is lying, but everyone is speaking from their own lens. This happens everywhere. When someone doesn't fulfill our expectations, when their behavior doesn't align with our values, when they don't follow our script, we don't pause and reflect. We label, we blame, we shame. We say, "You're lazy, you're unloving, you don't know how to talk, you're not ambitious, you're careless." But what we're actually saying is, "You didn't behave the way I wanted. You didn't meet my needs. You didn't match my story." We do this with everyone. We make our pain someone else's fault. We label our parents unworthy because they didn't earn as much as we expected. We label partners not career-focused because we want their promotions and the lifestyle that comes with it. Maybe they're already content. We call them unstylish because we want to show off a fashionable partner. We label kids lazy and push them for top ranks, not always for them, but for our prestige. We label workers as inefficient because they don't work exactly the way we want. We rarely, very rarely say, "I have this need, you're giving this, there's a gap. Can we talk?" That requires honesty, vulnerability, and responsibility. And most of us choose the easier path. We make them the villain so we don't have to face our own disappointment. Because it's always simpler to say, "I'm right, they're wrong," than to say, "My expectations weren't met, and that's why I'm upset." But the truth is, most of our judgments are not facts. They're emotional reactions to our unmet expectations. Let that sink in. Every harsh label you give reveals more about yourself and your expectations than about the other person. It's not just them you're looking at. You're staring into a mirror. Next time you catch yourself judging, pause. Ask yourself, is this really about them, or is this about me? Because when you start owning your needs, instead of blaming others for not meeting them, you stop fighting people, and you start understanding them. That's when real change begins. We think we're describing others when we judge them. But most of the time, we're just describing ourselves. Judgments are mirrors, not windows. What you say about them often reveals you.